All right, just get out your way. Who was talking about that? No, I want to know. Sorry, Rob. No, that's okay. I could probably that. Oh, wait, one more minute. The clock on there is wrong, that clock is wrong. Nothing in here tells time accurately. Alrighty. So before Maya gets us started, and she did her presentation on her own, so lots of support for her. Just a reminder, I'll try to say this again at the end of your presentation to Monday, be here in person, Zoom people. Because I'm gonna hand out exam 4. And so you need to be here in person to get it. We also have one more group going Monday, and then we have our office presentation as well on Monday. So and then I'll pass out exam 4, and then we're not meeting at our exam time. But I will be in my office to collect the exams. But you can also, like, if I give it to you Monday and you get it done Tuesday, you can just shove it under my office door Tuesday if you don't. That's fine too. But you'll have until a week from Monday at 3 p.m. to turn it in. That's when our exam would be. Cool. All right, I'm gonna turn it on over.
I want to talk about Parkinson's disease. So we've done Parkinson's disease before, but so I found some new types of studies, and I have my family experiences, so I choose this topic. So Parkinson's disease is a disorder of the motor system that is correlated with a loss of dopamine in the brain and characterized by tremor, muscular rigidity, involuntary movement, and change in the emotional memory. But it is one of the hyperkinetic disorders, which is difficulty in making movement, symptom of brain damage. The Parkinson's disease is common. The incidence estimated vary from 0.1% to 1% of the population worldwide, and the incidence rise by the sharply always that why among about 10 million patients with Parkinson's worldwide incidence is higher in countries with a longer life expectancies. So there are 4 major symptoms. First, tremor, which is a neurological condition that is include shaking or trembling movement in one or more part of the body. Second, muscular rigidity which is a stiff or inflexible muscles. It can stop your muscles from stretching and relaxing. This can lead to pain and muscle cramps and problem with balance. And if you experience rigidity, you may have problems with swinging your arms because your muscles are too tight and stiff. Then inverted movement is a group of uncontrolled movement that may manifest as a traumatic myoclonic jerk, chorea, arthrosis, dystonia, or embolism, and posture disturbance. The inability to maintain equilibrium under dynamic and static conditions such as preparation of movements, perturbations, and cluster. The picture shows the more details symptoms. So also the positive and negative symptoms. The positive symptoms include tremor of legs, muscular rigidity, and involuntary movements. And negative symptoms include postural disorders and lighting disorders, which are difficult in studying from spice positions. The loss of lightning reflex, also known as the lightning reflex, is a reflex that corrects the orientation of the body when it is taking up of its normal upright positions. Locomotive disorders, which is a condition of reduced mobility due to impairment of locomotive organs. Since upright bipedal walking involves minutely controlled movement patterns, impairment of any aspect of the locomotive organs has the potential to adversely affect it. So speech disturbance, the almost complete absence of tone in the speaker's voice, and aphasia is a plurality or slowness of movement may manifest in blank facial expression or lacking of blinking, swinging the arms when walking, spontaneous speech, or typical fidgeting movements. And progression of Parkinson's disease. So first, positive and negative symptoms of Parkinson's disease begin insidiously, often with a tremor in one hand and stiffness in the distal part of the limb. Then movement may be slow, the face becomes mask-like with loss of eye blinking and ability of emotion expressions. Then body may become stooped, the gait shuffle with the arms hanging motionless at the side. And speech may slow and become more close in tone, difficulty in swallowing saliva may result in dripping, and symptoms may appear suddenly and disappear just as suddenly. And there are 3 types of Parkinson's disease called idiopathic, osteoencephalitic, and drug-induced. So idiopathic Parkinson's disease cause is unknown. The origin may be familial or it may be part of the aging process. And osteoencephalitic Parkinson's disease. So this form originated in the pandemic of sleeping sickness, which is called encephalitis diffusica. It is caused by viral illness that triggers degeneration of the nerve cell in the substance nigra. The drug-induced Parkinson's disease. It is most recently and is associated with ingesting various drugs, particularly major tranquilizer, including atropine and several phenotyping and by phenol developers, and the agent can cause these symptoms quite early. And the two common types of assessment that the patient goes through are called Hall and Yale scales and Unified Parkinson's Disease Rating Scales. So the Hall Yale scale was published in 1967 and was the first rating scale to describe the progression of Parkinson's disease. The Hall and Yale scales describe 5 stages of the Parkinson's disease progressions. The first stage is the symptom of Parkinson's disease are mild and only seen on one side of the body. The second, it is characterized the symptoms on both sides of the body, bilateral involvement or at the middle right without impairment to balance. Third, it is characterized by loss of balance and slowness of movement. Fourth, Parkinson's disease has progressed to severe disabling disease. The patient is unable to live an independent life and needs assistance with some activities of daily living. And finally, it is characterized by confinement to a bed or wheelchair. The patient may also experience hallucination or delusions. The Unified Parkinson's Disease Rating Scale has 4 parts. Each part has a multiple point that are individually scored using 0 for normal or no problems, 1 for minimal problems, 2 for mild problems, 3 for moderate problems, and 4 for severe problems. So information of each part is on the next page, but I'm not gonna say everything still. So the difficulty of the assessment because of similar disease. So Parkinson's disease is a disease that causes impairment in motor functions such as trembling in the limb and muscle stiffness. But Lewy body dementia is a disease that combines features of Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's disease, such as visual hallucination and cognitive fluctuation due to cognitive decline, abnormal behavior during sleep, and trembling of the limbs. So my grandfather was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, but it was difficult for the neuropsychologist or other doctors because he had obviously showed the symptoms of related to the motor system, but at the same time, he kind of had a problem with his memory, but it took time to determine whether this was due to illness or aging, and like after a lot of assessment, the doctor decided it was just aging. So treatment, so levodopa is the most effective Parkinson's disease medicine. So a natural chemical passes into the brain and it's converted to dopamine. And physical, occupational, and speech therapy. So it can improve your gait and direct you to the right exercise regimen. Occupational therapy can be helpful to maximize your fine motor skills. Speech therapy can be useful to address speech and language barriers that may arise with Parkinson's disease. And surgery called deep brain stimulations or DBS. It is the most commonly performed surgical treatment for Parkinson's disease. And the surgeon places thin metal wires in the brain, and these wires send electrical passes to the brain to help control some motor symptoms. But while transformative for some of the patients, DBS is not for everyone. So here's a little bit explain each types of treatment.
Treatment and management of Parkinson's disease. Medication is the main treatment for Parkinson's disease. Medications your doctor prescribes will likely help your Parkinson's symptoms, but they also can cause side effects, and some medications become less effective over time. Parkinson's treatment has two goals. The first is to manage your symptoms as well as possible. The second is to minimize side effects of treatment. Parkinson's causes movement or motor symptoms and non-motor symptoms. Medication can often control motor symptoms for many years. These symptoms include tremor, stiffness, and slowness of movement. Your doctor will probably need to adjust your medications over time. It's important to tell your doctor about all your symptoms and even keep a daily record or diary of how you feel. This will enable more effective medication adjustments. The medications you take for early Parkinson's may be different from those you take later. There are three main medication classes for Parkinson's: dopamine agonists, MAO-B inhibitors, and levodopa. The decision as to which class to begin treatment with will depend on your age, symptom severity, and the potential side effects of each medication. These medications help simulate, extend, or replace, respectively, the brain chemical dopamine, which is reduced in Parkinson's disease. Dopamine agonists cause dopamine-like effects in the brain. These include pramipexole, ropinirole, and rotigotine transdermal patch. MAO-B inhibitors keep the brain from breaking down its natural dopamine quickly. They include selegiline and rasogiline. They can be effective for early mild symptoms. Levodopa helps replace dopamine in the brain. All Parkinson's disease patients eventually take carbidopa-levodopa, or levodopa for short, which is the gold standard treatment. Several forms of levodopa are available. You can take an immediate-release tablet that gives all the medicine at once, a tablet that releases medicine over a longer time, or a dissolvable tablet you can hold on your tongue to take without water. Over time, with disease progression, levodopa's effects can wear off faster. During these periods, patients may feel their motor symptoms return prior to their next dose. Therapeutic options your doctor may consider include changing the frequency of your levodopa dose or adding levodopa-extending drugs such as entacapone or an MAO-B inhibitor such as rasogiline or selegiline. Too much levodopa tends to produce abnormal involuntary movements called dyskinesias. Your doctor will try to help you balance on times when you have well-controlled symptoms and little non-bothersome dyskinesias, with off times when your medication levels are low and Parkinson's symptoms bother you. Therapeutic options your doctor may consider include reducing your levodopa dose or frequency or adding amantadine. Many non-motor symptoms can be treated individually. For example, your doctor can recommend other medications for constipation, sleep issues, or depression. Again, writing down your symptoms can help you get the necessary treatment. Failure to treat these symptoms can worsen the motor symptoms of Parkinson's disease. A surgical treatment called deep brain stimulation, or DBS, should be considered for motor complications that are not improving significantly with medication adjustments. DBS treats problems such as tremor, stiffness, and slowness of movement. DBS involves placing tiny electrodes into specific areas of the brain. They are attached to a battery-powered stimulator under your collarbone. Your doctor can adjust the stimulator to deliver electrical signals that will help alleviate the movement problems. DBS is done in a hospital after careful evaluation by a neurosurgeon. In the past, patients had to be awake for the procedure. Now, experts can do a sleep DBS using advanced imaging to identify where the electrodes should go. Your DBS will probably not give perfect relief right away. Your medical team will adjust it over a period of months for the most benefit. One new medication is a gel form of levodopa that goes directly into the body through a small pump. Research shows it can give more on time with fewer abnormal movements than immediate-release levodopa tablets. Ask your doctor about other new treatments. Beyond surgery and medication, it is vital to engage in regular exercise, physical therapy for movement problems, speech therapy for voice and swallowing problems, and counseling and medication for depression. Massage, acupuncture, yoga, and other body care practices may also help. A diet consisting of plenty of fruits, vegetables, and water can help with Parkinson's-related constipation. Protein may be a concern in your diet at different stages of Parkinson's because with some people it can interfere with how your medication is absorbed. A nutritionist can help you find the right balance. Researchers are working to find new Parkinson's treatments. Clinical trials, which are research studies done with volunteers, are underway for gene therapy and medications to slow the loss of dopamine-producing nerve cells, as well as other Parkinson's treatments. Ask your doctor about clinical trials. You may help your own disease, and you will give doctors valuable information on future treatments. Taking your medications as directed, telling your doctor about symptoms and possible side effects, and asking questions can make your treatment more effective. If one Parkinson's medication does not help, you still have other options. Seeing your doctor every 3 to 6 months, having your medications adjusted regularly, and telling your doctor about changes and side effects are important in Parkinson's disease. You can do a lot to manage this lifelong disease and have a good quality of life. Finding the right doctor and working with them to take the best care of yourself can give hope and help you live well with Parkinson's.
So, so on, for another option of treatment, so study in the article drug-induced gastrointestinal dysfunction in Parkinson's disease treatment with Korean medicine indicate that the symptoms of Parkinson's disease can be suppressed by using various types of treatment together. So, for example, acupuncture is one of the most popular complementary and alternative medicine treatment for Parkinson's disease and is reported to have the greatest benefit without adverse effect and without detrimentally if affecting the Parkinson's disease Western medicine drug response. And puncture is a form of acupuncture that improves stimulating points with injection of herbal medicine in complementary and alternative medicine. HB has been reported to have antioxidant, antiviral, anti-inflammatory, analgesic, anticoagulant, and anti-osteoporotic effect, and it is reported to have neuroprotective effect on dopaminergic neuron in vitro and in vivo models of Parkinson's disease. Also, there are another medication called Egansam, or YGS, one of the herbal medicines, and it is a traditional Chinese medicine formula that can reduce aggressiveness and agitation and inhibit dopamine function. So my grandfather had no intention of fundamentally curing the disease and was taking this drug purely to alleviate symptoms in order to go about his daily life rather than looking for effective therapy. So, and Furconazole which is a new drug for Parkinson's disease treatment. The gut microbiota plays an important role in controlling the pharmacokinetics and dynamics of many drugs. Increasing evidence has been rapidly emerging that gut microbiota express a variety of enzymes which could alter the activity and absorption of drugs by modifying their chemical structures. Fluconazole are novel squamosite derivative has been shown to have neuroprotective effect on experimental Parkinson's disease models. And fluconazole could obviously alleviate motor deficit and improve dopaminergic neurofunctions, which might be due to the inhibitory effect of fluconazole on neuroinflammations. So, impact on life and family. So the patient usually struggle with the symptoms because they are not able to move their body as they were before, and because they were unable to move their bodies on their own, they may be unable to continue working and may find themselves in financial difficulties as well. And patients suffer from the fact that the disease cannot be cured and there is no certain reliable treatments. So I will show a couple of clips that are an example of how the patient feel and think about their disease.
I was diagnosed with Parkinson's at the age of 51. For many years my hand was tremoring. I was struggling to drive, I was struggling to walk, I was struggling to use the computers at work. I was a practicing children's social worker for very many years, and it meant the world to me. It was everything I dreamt of. I loved doing what I did, and when I got diagnosed, it was an absolute nightmare in the sense that I'd lost a career that I'd worked so hard to achieve. Because of the nature of the job, it just wasn't safe working with children and families where things are very challenging and not safe if you're a disabled person, where you can't look after yourself or you can't run out the way or move very quickly. So that's when I had to take retirement at an early age, unfortunately. I got into absolute panic mode. I'd got a young son, my husband had retired, loads of debt, mortgage debt in particular. But thankfully, because I worked for local government and I'd paid into a really good pension pot, things worked out well for me. As soon as I lost my job and everything fell apart, I thought, what are you going to do with your life? I'm very dedicated to making a difference to people's lives, always have been. You can't just sit on the sofa and become a recluse. I thought, right, I'm going to grab the bull by the horn and I'm going to make a difference. I set up the Leicester Cafe for the South Asian community because I found it a huge challenge within my own community where people did not understand what Parkinson's was. Initially, we started the group just to talk about their illness and the challenges they were having. It's given me a new lease of life because it's given me a platform to get out in the community and make a difference to other people living with Parkinson's, especially in the South Asian community. It's fantastic, and the joy I get out of that is far more than I ever did in my working life. I think research and funding is massive. It can make a big difference. We need to first and foremost find a cure for this illness. Finding a cure for Parkinson's would mean the world to me, to actually get my life back, just on some level, just to have a moment in time where I was Parkinson's free would be magic, would be heaven, absolute heaven.
It's another one.
I get my support from my friends and family. They've been incredibly supportive. They've been there for me through thick and thin, and we all lean on each other. I've leaned on my husband Jay. Jay has my friends and his friends to lean on, and his family, my family, and it's kind of just builds up a little circle of trust around me, and that just helps me carry on. It gives me the confidence to be who I am and be myself and not be afraid of my Parkinson's, because they accept me for who I am, and sometimes they make light of it, and that's good, and sometimes they know how to take me seriously. So they challenge me, they push me, they pull me into places I don't want to go, and they know that ultimately I will benefit from it, and that gives me the confidence to know that I can lean on them as much as I can. I am extremely lucky because some people don't have that many friends or anyone to support them, but I think sometimes you have to reach out because there are people who are willing to help you. I still need to go and find out about lots of things, and I turn to, for example, Parkinson's UK, and recently I filled out a form for a blue badge. You can talk to anybody. You can talk to Parkinson's through Parkinson's UK, you can talk to people in your local support network, or you can go on Facebook or Instagram. There are so many people to help you.
And it's gonna be kind of personal. So that I saw that my grandfather struggled with the difficulty due to the disease. So because he was originally very active and liked to visit many places with my grandmother, and even though that was not his fault at all, he couldn't move his arm and legs properly, and I saw him apologizing to my grandmother over and over again, and it was very painful to see him. And also, since my grandmother was short and my grandfather very tall, it seemed difficult for her to take care of him sometimes. And unfortunately, my family lived kind of close to them, so we were able to go and help them when they were in trouble. But both my parents were working, and my younger brother and I both went to school, so it was also a limited options. So I chose Parkinson's disease as a topic this time based on my own family's experience, but I learned that despite a lot of research, there are still many things we don't understand about that. And I'd like to be involved in studying this disease in the future. Okay.
Thank you. We're perfectly at 30 minutes. Alrighty. If anyone whose group has already gone hasn't done a rating form for your group members, I have those. And then again on Monday, we'll have 2 presentations and I'll pass out exam form. So make sure you're here in person and spread the word to everybody else to be here in person too. Thank you. Oh, man. Thank you, my copy. Do you mind if we grab one? I'm like, just take all the rest of them. Perfect. I'm like, wait, I don't know. Yeah.
You have a handout as not in this class, for your next class, you have a handout the morning. Nope, just making sure.
Yep. Yep, so I'm handing that out tomorrow night. It's actually like on the copier right now. And then you'll have it on the copier.
I'm just trying.
Yeah. Yeah, because I didn't have it ready before we didn't have 2 weeks.
Yeah. Because we had the group
Birthday and then we had the.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
For some of the winners, I'm going to ask you this morning for the position of visual data. I have like a 600 question, right? without any trouble interpreting with this visual they had of
Sure.
data.
Okay,
I think it might be the p-value, but I didn't know if this was like the type of thing where it's closest to one that means like the strongest correlation.
exactly, yeah, so this you can interpret like a correlation coefficient. And then the stars tell you what the p-value was, so usually, yeah, I have like. I don't have the cheat sheet over here, but usually it, oh, perfect, yep, so like. 3 stars is it's basically really significant, P is less than 0.01, 2 is P is less than 0.01. So it looks like every path is significant, basically, and so essentially. What this is saying is that like, when folks get spanked more, they're gonna act out.
And for this one, I didn't know if you wanted to include charts, but I had this one. Should I create like a
that's
different visual?
No, I love that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And this, and I didn't know if you still had like copies of the art system.
I did not keep the copies of that one. Do you have any copies of your bill? Yeah, I think Oliver has them, but it's posted on Mock.
Got I need one of the.
You know, the thing is, you can just bring it back Monday if you want.
Thank you.
You too.
To grab the peer review.
Oh, perfect. There you go. And I've got some comments here. Zoom people, I'm coming. Oh, they all signed off. Never mind. It was just have a great day. Okay.